G'day everyone and welcome to our podcast, Two Cousins, One Chat. I'm Ben.
And hello, I'm Kristy. And I'm super happy to be recording today because it's my favourite day and I get to see my lovely cousin Ben.
Oh,
hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How's it going?
How's it going? I'm good. How are you going, Ben?
Yeah, really, really good. I'm feeling great. Look,
Are you?
It's just, life's just a journey. What can I say?
It is a journey. And I saw a beautiful photo of you the other day online when you did your set at Cranker Comedy.
Yes, I did my Cranker Comedy set. It's the first set I've done for a long time, and Ross Voss, who runs the room, is a great guy, and he messaged me going, Ben, are you going to do a set soon? Are you coming out of hiding? Which I didn't realise I was in hiding, but apparently I was. And I went and did a set, and it was lots of fun. And the thing that was funny about it is that Mum said, I want to come along and see you do a set. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. And so Mum came along, and so I thought, I'm gonna just like get stuck into Mum.
Oh no, Ben! Are you serious?
Yeah, so it was a full room, and two of my very best friends were there, and they were literally in the front row. So my friends Joe and Suze were there, and Rick came along and Mum. So the four of them were in the front row, and because the room was so full, by the time they got in, there was nowhere else to sit, and it was all about. And I was really getting stuck into poor Mum, but I knew that she would find it funny, and the audience were like, "Do we turn on this guy or not?" And it was so much fun. It got lots of good laughs, and Mum was an excellent sport. And then afterwards, people were like, "Are you really his mum?"
Yeah.
So it was great fun. Yeah.
That's so funny. I wish I had been. That would be good if it could be recorded so we could see.
I often record it. Well, I had other friends there as well, another friend who will often record it and then send me the video, and he didn't, which is fine. But I often sometimes just do a voice memo recording so I can listen back and hear how things sort of come across for you next time. And I didn't do that, but I wish I did, because it was actually really good fun. But anyway,
good on you. Anyway, I love it. Yeah. But yeah, I did see that beautiful photo of you on the Cranker Comedy website. So good on you, Ben. It takes a lot of courage to get up and do stand-up. I can't imagine doing that. So
that's heaps of fun. And look, it's one of those things, if you like it, you do. If you don't, you think it's the worst thing. I don't know how people do it. But it's really good. And, support local comedy, because it's an open mic night. No one's, everyone's either, some people are there for the first time ever doing their first ever set, which was me once. And there was a guy there who did his first ever set, and he was really, really funny. And he forgot one of his jokes, which was even funnier.
Oh no, poor
but he played it off beautifully. So get out there and support local comedy. It's usually a really fun night. So
do you get nervous?
Great. I get nervous just before I go up, because I don't want to forget what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. But once you're up there, because my sets tend to flow, my subjects link generally, so that helps me to flow my set pretty well, and I do lots and lots of practice. So it's really the key to stand up is practicing a lot and making it sound like it's the first time you've ever said it. So that's the key, and that's really hard. And the ones that do it well, you'll know they're just masters of it. So
yeah. Oh, that's so cool! Such a amazing skill that you've got. Oh, what else have you been up to, Ben? Let's chat.
Oh well, look, it's end of year rolling around fairly quickly. I mean, it's already October. It's just like we're already talking about Christmas, and that's just crazy. We've got a pretty special Christmas episode as well. Are we going to talk about that today? We're going to keep it still a secret.
No. We've got to let it out of the bag. I'm
going to tell people.
Sick of it. It's killing me.
Let it out of the handbag. It's been in a pillowcase in a fridge. A wet pillowcase for long enough.
But you're right. It is. We've been teasing this for a little while now, but we are coming to the end of the year. It's bloody coming around super fast, Ben, slipping away this back end of the year. But we have organised someone absolutely fantastic to join us, to talk to us on our Christmas special, which is none other than French chef Gabrielle Gatte.
Yeah, and national treasure, I think you've got to just say.
Oh, unbelievable.
We're so excited.
Yeah, we're really super thrilled, and what a lovely guy. So we're going to be talking about family traditions and Christmas,
Yeah.
and he'll be joining us on the pod to talk about what he does at Christmas and what his family traditions are, and what I can't wait to ask so many questions, comfort food, blah blah. So anyway, if you've got any questions for Gabrielle Gatte, please send them in. Share it on Insta, Facebook, whatever, because we'll put them to him. And look, no question is there's no limit. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. And Gabriel has been amazing in agreeing to be on the show, and we cannot wait to talk to him. So that's really, really cool. So there you go, people. It's out of the bag. Now you know. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We're talking to Gabriel Gatte soon. How exciting is that?
It will be in French, so get Google Translator ready.
Yeah, we get our lessons happening. Hey, are we going to do our Kris Kringle this year? It feels like we've only just, I know I was a bit late with my last one. I'm still catching up, but we'll do Kris Kringle.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. So
of course.
And we keep it at the $6.
Totally. Yeah, I can't afford any more than that. Yeah.
Cost of living.
And last year, I think I got you some bulldog clips in a dusty box.
Yeah, they were stolen. So stolen. But yeah, there was the Rachel Lynch book that was part of the KK.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll be having our breakup party and our KK. So I need to start putting on some thinking antlers. Think what I'm going to get for $6 and get it to you. We've got to have a deadline.
Let's do it, because last year I dragged the chain. Let's be honest.
Well, I guess we'll be talking about it in our January episode. So you've got till say mid-Jan to get me to get the KK. So that is an extension of a couple of weeks.
It is.
So, and if anybody's got any suggestions that I can get Ben for his KK, $6. What's that noise? Is that the dog?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe
it could be my chair, or
might have been my stomach. I'm so hungry.
No, really? I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you want to pause and go and get like a roast turkey or something?
Get the bonbons out.
Gabrielle, are you there? Can you help us?
Yeah, Uber.
Drop something round.
So yeah, end of year is slipping around, but yeah, KK, we're definitely on. It's still $6, and that doesn't include postage.
No, okay. Oh, jeez, it's getting pricey. All right, look, no, I'm more than happy to do that, and I've got some good ideas already.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good job.
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just took a breath.
Yeah,
breathing is not talking. Yeah.
Do you do circular breathing, in the nose, out the mouth?
I try to, and I do my vocal warm-ups generally before shows as well.
Yeah, I don't. I just jump straight in.
Thanks to Eddie By, who I did my radio course through. He, my voiceover course through.
Yeah.
Gave me fantastic warm-ups. So I don't know if Eddie listens to this show, but he's great.
Does.
He gave me some gold vocal warm-ups. Absolutely.
Oh, good. Maybe I need to.
You say things like unique New York and a critic. And things to get your diction happening, and other weird things. Yeah, really cool. It's
okay,
fun.
Yeah, I like good pronunciation.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something I didn't mention, because hopefully you listened to our episode, our how-to and our lessons learned of the podcasting world, which was our last episode.
That episode. It was good.
That was great. Yeah. I didn't talk about vocal warm-ups, which is something that I always do, which I did through doing theatre and stuff like that. It's always, you always have to do it if you're going to sing, but it's good for talking as well. So, and Eddie does them every day, whether he's doing voiceovers or not, just to keep his throat muscles healthy. One apology I must make in our last episode, I referred to Denise's artwork as a thing. I said this thing behind me. So I'm so sorry, Denise, if you listen to the show, because it's not a thing. It's a beautiful piece of art, but sometimes you can't get your tongue around what you're trying to say, and so then it just went thing. So I'm sorry that I said thing, because it's beautiful and we love it. And we have 2 pieces of art from Denise in our lounge room, and they're a pair.
I can see one behind you as well. Is that one in the corner?
No, that's just a Henri Matisse. It's not original. No, it's not original. It's just a rip-off print. Yeah, okay. It's not a rip-off. It's a print of the original.
Okay,
Matisse, yeah.
Right.
And this one's one of the ballerina ones that Sarah loves. I like the
beautiful,
painting, but I don't really like the frame.
Okay.
Anyway, that's enough about. People can't even see me. What are we
doing?
I
know.
Talking about this.
Always
what are we actually talking?
Something.
Oh God. Always. If it's not hay fever, it's bloody something else.
Hay fever. Well, today we have got such an excellent topic, and this one's been brewing for a while, and Ben and I just couldn't wait to unleash this topic to our listeners. The topic that we're going to be chatting today about is obsession.
Obsessions.
Obsessions. Oh, unreal. What a juicy topic, Ben. Hey?
How about I play some music and then we'll get into it?
All right, let's do it.
Seamless. Go.
Yep. Okay, stop telling me what to do. God.
Sorry.
You need one of those stop-start signs, right?
Oh, we need a talking stick.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yep, today we are talking about obsessions, and I'll tell you what, I love this topic so much. Ben can't stop laughing.
Yes.
You know those things that you get fixated on at one particular time in your life, or you can't get it out of your head, or it's something that you're just into at the moment.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, something that you just love with a passion that you're just obsessing over and around. And I think we've all had some sort of obsession, and whether it's obsessions aren't always bad. So sometimes you might think, obsession, is an unhealthy obsession, but they're not always unhealthy. There can be healthy obsessions too. And, we can all, list off a whole range of things, whether it's exercise, food, music, movies, podcasts, like Two Cousins, One Chat. It could be obsession. But,
Are you obsessed with our podcast?
Yeah,
it's all right. It's okay.
I just thought let's discuss, obsessions today, Ben. And
absolutely. And the thing is, like when we did our 80s episode, it made me think about it because you tend to get into things in a different way as you go through life. Like when you're a teenager, and some of the obsessions I'm going to talk about today were things that I got into when I was sort of in my late teens. You just get so into it. It's like nothing else exists kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you get obsessed with things, but not exclusively, because so much else is going on. So it's funny, I've been thinking about how you can be into things, but when you're a teenager, you can kind of just completely focus on it almost. It's sort of like almost like a singular thing sometimes. So, yeah.
Oh my
it's going to be fun to...
Something just popped in my head and I've just made a note of it to chat about because I've got an item without notice. I just realised it's a current obsession. Oh my God,
really?
This is so good. I can't even type.
You can't type it. No. Your fingers aren't working properly. I'm
typing with all my thumbs. All right, that's not good.
I can't even read what that says.
No,
but that's
you don't want to know what it is.
Because we share a live workflow, show flow. And so as Kristy's updating, I'm seeing it. I'm like, what the...
What does that even say?
All fingers on the keyboard at once.
Yeah. It says QWERTY.
It says QWERTY, yeah. All right, let's kick off, Kristy. We're going to talk about music obsessions because most people get into a band or music. So let's start by talking about some of our music obsessions.
Do you want me to go first?
Go for it, please.
All right, okay, cool. So I reckon one of my most longest obsessions and intensest, not even a real word, whatever.
It is now.
Was back in the 80s and it would have been all throughout the 80s and early 90s was with James Rain / Australian Crawl.
Yes, okay.
And anyone who knows me from those early days, they'll always say to me, "Oh my God, I saw James Rain, I thought of you." Because
really? Yeah.
even today, right?
Yeah.
Or mum will ring up and say, "Oh, I saw James Rain on the TV or the TV," and then she'll start singing "Fall of Rome," she's. I can never understand him, so super funny. But yeah, I think I had a healthy obsession with James Rain throughout my growing up years, and so would my best mate at the time, Pimmy. Her and I would just bloody love James Rain.
So you never went through his garbage or knew where he lived or...
No, although I think he lived in South Melbourne area somewhere in Victoria.
Don't pretend you don't know the address. 14 Smith Crescent.
And my cousin Wade, he
Yeah.
bought me a membership to the Australian Crawl fan club. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
and I think it was like $20, and I was just like, couldn't believe he did that for me.
That's so nice. He never
I
bought me any memberships because he's my cousin too, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe you reach out, you know. So, yeah, posters covering the wall,
Wow.
school books covered in, cutouts of images in the newspaper and magazines where we got all of our information from, smash hit,
Absolutely.
um,
Smash hits. Oh my
smash
God. Yeah.
hits, yeah, the big posters and, be on Countdown. And one of their
Yeah.
most favourite songs that did really, really well was Reckless. So
Yes.
it was
Great
at
song.
number one for a really long time. So as you
Okay.
watch Countdown, you'd get to see, oh, James, was it going to be, number one, and watch him, and just really loved watching him. I think he was just so pretty. He was kind of handsome, a bit sexy. Fantasize about marrying him and running off and
Of
never being
course.
seen again.
Well,
So
you've talked before about you met James Rain, didn't you? But it wasn't that great
mm,
an interaction.
no, it was at Southland. Yeah,
Mm.
and he signed the CD. It was like when he'd gone out on his own, and he just wasn't engaging with the audience, and
Yeah. Okay. A bit
probably
aloof.
kind of he might have just been sitting there for 4 hours signing autographs and
Thinking, oh, get me out of here. Yeah.
yeah, Southland
I mean, you're in a shopping centre. Yeah. Come on.
out the front
Cut
of
the guy some
Crashers.
slack.
But
Crashes.
and then I remember one night we went to see him play because we saw him play, or when Aussie Crawl came out, we always saw them play.
Mm.
And we're at a really dive of a joint in Melbourne, and he was playing, and my girlfriend, said, "Come on, we'll go backstage and meet James." And I think she yelled out to him, "James, I want to introduce you to my girlfriend," to me, and
Yeah.
he didn't want to be there, didn't want to speak to the crowd, played his set and got off, and he was gone. So yeah, it wasn't. That
Oh,
was then. I mean,
I'm sorry.
100 years later, I'm sure he'd be rapt to meet me.
Well, yeah. I mean, we saw him at the Crown Casino once. I remember seeing.
Did
I
we
think.
chat to him?
Nah, he was like, "No, I remember you. Get out of my face."
Yeah.
No, I think we didn't. We didn't. We didn't even try. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. And he was also in that movie.
Turn to
What was
Eden.
it? Return to Eden
Yeah.
with who?
Rebecca
Kate
Gibney.
Rebecca Gibney. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
a series that went like it
Oh,
was
it
a
was a
movie, and
series.
then it didn't turn into a series. But yeah,
Did
he
you
was.
watch it?
Yeah. Something wrong with you?
Like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I discovered he had a birthmark under his
Oh,
left or right cheek, butt
good
cheek.
grief. Oh
Yeah.
dear.
So
Okay.
exciting. It was like the talk of the town.
Risque.
Yeah. So he was in that. You got to see him in the Nutty.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you
Sorry
can
if anyone's.
go to YouTube and watch it, and it's an absolute crack up. It's so bad.
Okay.
But I still have a really soft spot for James, and
Of course you do.
the
Yeah. Because
restraining
yeah.
order's long been lifted. So
That's good.
I might
So you
have
can go
changed
through
my
his
hair
garbage
colour.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had my teeth done, my hair's changed. So I'm sure he wouldn't recognise me.
And now you're known as Barbara, so he can't actually. He can't actually.
Babs.
Babs. I'm just Babs now. Well, that's awesome. Can I tell you one of mine?
Go for it.
So this is more of a teenage one, not like teenager 13, 14, probably more 17, 18. I really got into a band called The Sharp. I think I've talked about them on the show before, but
Yeah.
The Sharp were a 3-piece band with a big double bass and drums and a singer, Alan Catlin. And I got so into their first album, which was called This Is The Sharp. And I listened to it just the other day, and I tell you what, some of the songs are a bit, like, speaking of obsession, some of them are a bit stalkery and a bit like, ugh, the lyrics
Oh
sound a bit,
yeah.
they haven't dated well, I got to say.
Okay.
But the music was fantastic. And in fact, they were The Living End, who brought out their first album, which I also just loved so
Yeah.
much, thanked Alan Catlin in their cliff notes of their first album, because they were another 3-piece with a big double bass. So they were kind of poppy, but with a bit of an edge, and I just loved them. I listened to their albums. They had 3 albums, I think, and I listened to all 3 of them, just loved them. And they actually came and played, probably a radio station organised it, but they came and played in Rundle Mall. They did an appearance in Rundle Mall.
Oh,
And, there was the famous Culture Club Rundle Mall appearance. Again, we've talked about that. But this was huge, and I thought I was the only person that kind of liked them. And this was massive because there used to be an escalator with a platform in the middle of Rundle Mall. That went to some arcade or something, and they were up there, and this was huge. This appearance was massive, and I
Unreal.
remember I bought a Cass single, which we used to buy,
Yeah.
a Cass single, and all three of them were there signing, like they were sitting at a table, sign. So I had a signed Cass single of the Sharp, and
Unreal.
yeah, that was fantastic. So I was
So
very
good.
much into the Sharp, but I do have another musical obsession just while I've got the mic, if you want me to just
Keep
say
going.
one more.
No.
This is probably not so, I wouldn't call it obsessed, because obsession, I feel like, you get a bit more ensconced. Like with the Sharp, I read every word of every CD. I learned every word of every song. You really follow them in a different kind of way because you've got more time. I don't have time to learn lyrics to songs anymore. But Ben Folds, I think anyone who listens to the show regularly would know that I'm a massive fan. And Ben Folds 5, which I got into after they'd released their second album back in the late 90s, when they released their second album, whatever I'm in. So very much got into Ben Folds 5 and very much into Ben Folds. And I still love Ben Folds to this day. He's just released a new album recently, and What Matters Most, which is great. So I think it's fair to say, as an adult, if you have an adult version of an obsession of music, it would have to be Ben Folds for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just
And you're
love the
right.
stuff.
It's different. It's different. So my current day on high rotation is Taylor Swift. So I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift and all of her new stuff and all of her previous stuff. I really enjoy that. She's an amazing songwriter. But another one is that I also on high rotation. It's only one particular album that I love.
Okay.
It's The Killers live at Albert Hall. And it's about 10 years old now.
Yeah.
And I actually bought it I bought the DVD of it as well, like the live footage of the concert. So either listen to the concert on the CD or watch it. And I love it. Brandon Flowers, who's the lead singer, is a consummate professional showman, and basically he just gives the best performance, and his lyrics and the way he sings and everything about him I just absolutely love it. So there are a couple of my current day obsessions that I'll just keep going on high rotation. I absolutely love it so much, and every time I listen to it, it's just like, oh, you guys are just the best. It's really good. Just really, it kind of really gets you.
Yeah.
So music is one of my obsessions. I've always had a real passion for music, whether in the 90s it was U2 or anything that U2 did. I was always all over it. And prior to that was good old Aussie Crawl, James Rain. Woo!
So I wonder if teenagers, because I don't know, I don't really know many teenagers anymore.
Yeah.
Apart from my nieces and nephews, etc. But I don't think, you talk about smash hits, you'd get the smash hits, and if it was someone that you really liked as the center poster, you'd be like, oh my God, like, back in the 80s, Culture Club, Michael Jackson and all of these. I don't know if kids actually do that anymore. Are they buying? I sound so old. I'm aware of that.
Sounding
but
a bit
do they
old.
do it? I don't
Not
know.
like,
Does your,
well, just
no.
going off on number of research subjects equals one. My niece, she doesn't have posters all over her wall, but she's got access to the internet, Spotify, and YouTube.
That's right,
so
exactly.
Recently, we saw the concert, and anyway, she was talking to me about.
This is the Taylor Swift concert.
I went and saw that last month, but she was talking about. I was asking her about the song list, and how did you know all the songs, Sarah? Did you know what was coming up next? He said, oh, go to Spotify and type in Era's concert song list and it'll come up for you. So they've got access to different things in different ways, whereas I don't know many other teenagers, but she doesn't have posters all over her wall because she can get her content in other ways. So her newsreel or her photos might be, on her mobile phone might be covered in, like, say, Taylor Swift images or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But not her wall.
No, but we both sound about 80 right now, so maybe
Just stop.
Move on.
I know what I'm talking about. But another, I don't know if it's a obsession, but it's something that I do always on a Friday is listen to a podcast that comes out once a week. Ash Williams' podcast comes out every Friday, and it's always on my way home from work. It's my treat. Like not my treat, but it's something that I do. I don't know if it's an obsession, but I always do it on a Friday, catch a train home and listen to Ash. And then he's great with his listeners. I'll take a bit of video footage of me listening to it or send him some feedback. And, he always gets back to you and thanks for listening. And, he's a super funny guy. But, that's one of mine. On the way home on a Friday, I'll do that.
Oh, yeah. Podcast. My favourite podcast is, apart from Two Cousins, One Chat, of course,
the best.
Absolutely The Junkies with Kitty Flanagan and Dave O'Neill.
So good.
Love it so much. In fact, we went to Sarah's cousins the other night for dinner because they're also fans as well. Her and her daughter both love it. And so we were doing blind tasting, so we all had to take chips.
Were you?
So we were blind tasting all these chips, and some of them were just horrible, and some of them were like, oh, they're quite good, like truffle and portobello mushrooms. Ugh, you know how much I hate truffle.
Oh, yeah.
But then there were some other really nice ones, and the Poe's beef rendang was a bit coconutty and gross. But I love The Junkies. It's such a good podcast. What other we should probably talk about other than music? There's other there's some food obsessions, some TV shows. So why don't we talk about some of them?
Yeah, for sure. I tell you what, I've got a current food obsession right now.
What is it?
It's Maxi-Bon caramel / coconut.
Oh, really? I didn't know this existed.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's what it is. It is beautiful. So the Maxi-Bon is like a slab of ice cream. Half of it's covered in biscuit, half of it's covered in chocolate.
Yes.
And you hold the biscuit and then you eat from the chocolatey dipped, and you eat down to the biscuit in your fingers. Oh, yeah. God. So that's my current obsession, and they're absolutely delicious. So I've got to get off it. But, I have some of my other food obsessions have been sausage rolls. You know how much I love a sausage roll, and I had to go into a self-imposed exile.
You did, yeah.
And in fact, I haven't had a sausage roll in a really long time, like months and months and months. But I go in and out of that. And if sausage rolls were healthy and good for you, I would eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You just live on them. Well, I had a Villiers sausage roll the other day, and because we had some people over, and we just did a quick run because there's a Villiers cafe near us now, and I'll tell you what, it was so good. It was just sausage roll with sauce. Yum.
Oh, yum, so good.
Beerenberg tomato sauce, which is here in Harndorf, which we visited on our Harndorf trip on the October long weekend.
Your Harndorf honeymoon.
We go through so much tomato sauce here because Reed loves it, and it's like $5 a bottle. When you go to the Beerenberg factory in Harndorf, they sell 2-litre bottles of their tomato sauce for like $15. That's just my wife coughing, if you can hear that. I don't know if you could. And so we bought 2 litres of tomato sauce.
Yum.
So we now are buying sauce in bulk.
Yeah, you need to go to Aldi. Oh, no, Costco. Get them in the 44-gallon drum. Just put a little tap on it. Yeah. But I've got all sorts of bloody obsessions, It could be food. Another current obsession is my sleep talk down meditation.
Oh, really? Okay. No, I can't do those things.
I now love it. Okay, Tansy Forrest, if you're ever listening.
Okay.
She's an English lady.
Is that what you were trying to type before?
Yeah. What does it say?
QWERTY Forest.
So anyway, I just put the earbuds in and put it on, and it comes with a warning. So it's actually sleep hypnosis.
Good grief.
And so now I actually struggle to go to sleep without listening to Tansy. So that's a bit of an insight that not everybody needs to know. But that's been going for over 12 months now, every night. Yep.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And it gets you straight to sleep. And
it
turns off after a certain period of time. So, it's like the calm podcasts or things that you might have listened to. But, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Try that. I'll try that. One thing I really got into when it was on was Seinfeld because, I love comedy. As you know, I love anything comedy. It's my go-to. But I got Sorry, there's a noise in the background. There's lots of background noise here today, listeners. I'm really
It's
sorry. I
okay.
coexist.
I can't
I do
even.
coexist with others. So,
I can't even
sometimes
hear
they
it.
do things. Yeah, Seinfeld. I was so into it to the point where I really just loved it so much that I think I was a bit obsessed with it, and I was a bit
Really?
obsessed with Jerry and the lifestyle that he had in the show, which was very similar to the life he had at the time. Of course, he's now
Yeah,
married
right.
with kids, and he's almost a billionaire. Life is very different for him. Did you hear that coughing
Yeah,
again? Yeah,
yeah.
God, I'm sorry. Look, it's all right. It's all good. But yeah, I was into that so much that I was actually, when I was living in Melbourne, I lived in
Mm.
a share house with a whole bunch of people in Fitzroy, right, in Brunswick Street, Fitzroy, and I'm thinking,
I remember
this is.
that.
Do you remember? I'm thinking
Yeah.
this is going to be amazing. I'm going to be living in this eclectic lifestyle in
Oh, yeah.
Brunswick Street, Fitzroy. It was just gross. Like, no judgment on the people I lived with, although judgment on some, but it was just gross. And we were all young and people just weren't clean, and there were
Mm.
cats, and it was just revolting. And
Repulsive. I remember you cleaned the
I
kitchen.
hate,
Oh.
I cleaned the kitchen and then came back 2 hours later and it was filthy again. And, it was just gross, not my scene. So I was like, I want to live like Jerry Seinfeld. So I did. I moved into a 1-bedroom flat
Yeah.
and it was pristine and
Yep.
it was just awesome. So I actually ended up emulating his lifestyle in a
All
way.
right. Yeah,
But I
love
still
it.
love Jerry. I love
Yeah.
Jerry too. My evolution of that obsession is watching comedians in cars getting coffee
Oh,
in my
yeah.
lunch breaks
Oh,
because they're
yeah.
20 minutes on Netflix. Absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic. So
really, really
so
good.
my obsession with Jerry Seinfeld continues, but through comedians in cars getting coffee. Check it out, people. It's no longer made anymore, but it's just
No.
absolutely fantastic. Hey, we're sort of running out of
We are
time.
running out of
What
time,
else do we need to talk about?
well, we
God.
were going to talk about famous obsessions and the impact of social media and people
Mm.
obsessing on social media and how it's how we've got access to so much stuff now on social media, and there's positives and negatives about that.
We should say
Um,
that there can be some
you know.
negatives in it, and that's not a good thing.
And also, another thing that I wanted to really quickly chat about before the timer goes off is my favourite obsession movie.
Oh yeah, tell me.
This one is an absolute cracker. It's from 1991. It's called
Oh,
Sleeping with the Enemy.
oh yeah, with Julia Roberts.
Julia
Yeah, yeah.
Roberts, and
Mm.
she's in a really horrible marriage. She fakes her own death. And anyway, the husband obsesses over her, finds out that she's not dead, and then comes back to try and kill her. Anyway,
Oh
she
God.
survives, if you're wondering. But yeah, that's my favorite, one of my favorite movies. And
Yeah.
I
The
read
only
the
scene
book.
I remember.
Yeah,
Oh, you read? Oh no,
I
go.
read the
Sorry,
book.
sorry.
I read the book first, and then I saw it on TV, and I'm like, shit. I know this storyline, and I didn't put two and two together, and it's like,
Mm.
oh God, yeah, I'd read the book, but then didn't had
Ah,
a different
okay.
name, something like that.
Oh, okay. The only scene I remember from that movie is when she tries to flush the wedding ring down the toilet, but it doesn't flush. And
Mm.
isn't that how he realizes
Yep.
that she's alive? Yeah, that's kind of like I remember that moment and thinking,
Nah, and when
the horror.
she comes home one night and she set up a new place and she opens up her kitchen cupboards and all of the labels on
A
all of the
facing, yeah.
yeah.
The
Right, and then she
towels and
knows
yeah.
she knows he's been in
Yeah.
there because
Oh
she's
dear.
freaked right out. Oh
Yeah.
wow, what a
Yeah.
oh, there goes Chris.
Oh, Chris is back.
Press stop. Yeah, oh, look, he's an
So
obsession.
that is a great movie, but not to bring the mood down, but
Nah.
social media is a bad way. Is can be a terrible experience for people
Yeah,
with this sort of thing, and it can be very unhealthy, and it can have some really negative impacts. So we were just talking about some of the things that we got into as kids and
yeah.
adults, but generally, healthy obsessions are a good thing. Unhealthy
Yeah.
ones are a bad thing.
That's
Don't do
it,
it,
and
people.
and just try
Be
and cope as
kind.
best you can, and sometimes they'll just come and go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll be in it for a month or minute, whatever, and then it'll just you can just roll on to something else.
Suddenly you're a psychiatrist.
Yeah, actually, can you see my certificate of participation in psychiatry still behind me?
Thanks,
Um,
Canva.
yeah. Ben, you're so funny. But yeah, but a really interesting, conversation that we've had today around obsessions. And if you're feeling comfortable, let us know what yours is. And there's
Absolutely.
no
What are you into right
judgment.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah. And if it's truffle, I don't want to know about it.
yeah. Mine's
Ugh.
Maxi Bond, so take that.
Maxi Bonds are
Yeah.
good. I tell you what, Maxi Bonds are good. I had a mint one the other day. Oh
Did
my
you?
God. It's so weirdly, I just decided to have one. Yeah, I was feeling a bit indulgent. And
Yeah.
I tell you what, it was very sweet, but God, it was good. It was so
I think
good.
I think we ate all of the Maxi Bonds at the local Safeway because then we had to get the Maxi Bond with the waffle, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
don't
Don't do it?
don't.
Okay.
Only if you're
Reed has had
desperate.
one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't like
But
it.
he loves a Maxi Bond too. So you guys could have a Maxi Bond party.
Oh, totally on it.
Mm.
All right, well that just about wraps up our
Good
obsession
grief. Oh my
chat.
God, it went so fast.
That was
I know.
really
I'm sorry
good.
for bossing you around earlier.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
Mm,
That's all
I
right. I still
know.
love you. You're still
Oh, that's
handsome,
good.
crank a comedy man.
That's me. It's
Okay,
my
well,
proper uniform.
it is.
Mm.
All right, well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We've got a public group and a private group, which is growing. God, we've got so many friends there, Ben. Bloody
I
awesome.
know, it's great. And can I say, like, if you do like our podcast and you want others to listen to it, we would love you to just share it, share the links, send it to your friends and family, your mums and dads, because the more people we get listening to the podcast, the happier we are. So please,
Yeah, good on
share
you.
it with others. Yeah,
Sharing is caring.
absolutely.
What
And
a great
caring is
Christmas present.
sharing.
It's for free. Yeah.
Absolutely. Free Christmas presents, even better, not like the $6 we got to lay out for our
Yeah.
KK.
Oh God, I
Better
can't
get on
wait.
that.
All right, off to do some research there. All right, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you next time, and I'll see you next time.
See all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. See you later. Thanks for
See ya.
listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.